we have a quorum.
Okay. The approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor in a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes of the last meeting. I didn't see anything that,
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as read.
And I'll second.
a motion on the floor in second. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Treasurer's report, Sue.
All right, I've got all kinds of bills.
Okay.
I do. We have a bill from Tom, a bill from Norman, and then we got Hush Blackwell for those tax books.
Mhm.
Pet Nudge Landscaping, Auto Tire and Parts, the Herald, and CNA 30 for my bond. And then Missouri Employers Mutual for our liability insurance, which has gone up about $20 from last year. Not bad.
Okay, that's not bad.
No.
I've been busy.
You've been busy, I know, that's a good thing. There's a lot to do down there.
Was this week.
You got a lot of time with Levee, huh? Yeah.
I got all the berms cleaned up, Norm.
All the
Up on
burn.
that, and all the roads graded,
Let's go.
all the gravel brought back up.
I'll pass these down, you can start it down there and come back.
Okay.
We got
Your tractor to grade them?
Mhm.
Your tractor to grade them? Grade the roads?
Yeah, I just got a 6-foot box blade.
Okay.
Where the water had run over when it filled up so fast.
Yeah.
And especially the cross berm where we put the 3 pipes,
Okay.
it washed that
Oh, I know.
pretty good. But I gathered all that back up.
Well, that's on the city side, isn't it, where it washed out so bad? Toward the road?
Well,
The opposite
that's
side.
across
Yeah.
the big pipes.
Yeah.
I even pulled it up.
That's about what it usually is.
You need to put some rock in there though, it needs a couple loads.
They, we got like 2 bills from
Yeah.
them because we didn't meet last month, so one's September's and one's October's,
Okay,
but it's all the
So if
time.
you ever need a 10-foot box blade,
1,400, one,
you've got one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually spend.
I ain't got anything to pull it.
Well, you could use my tractor
Oh.
if you need to.
I got a mile long lane.
Well, you need it?
Is that one of them self-leveling? Like, Vern's got?
No, it's not that fancy.
That's what I need.
If you go over it enough times, eventually it's gonna get level.
Yeah. I want one of them that I can adjust the sides
but they had 18.
or whatever grade I need.
No,
Yeah.
mine,
You
yeah.
get a lot of
This is-
spraying.
This is a little more simple than that.
I tell you what, everything's looking good. I think it's.
Yeah, really.
Did you see these? Hush Blackwell.
I don't know if we did.
Yeah.
You wanna look at that?
White and that. And that.
Well, this is.
I didn't know if you passed them up to me or.
Generator.
No, the filters, they got them coming and going.
Oh, yeah. That Nick changed all.
Yeah, $1,100 with the filters on that.
Hush Blackwell's the attorney that we use, and then every year they gotta make these tax books for us. I
Well, they
guess.
have them all mixed up.
I can't explain it.
Yeah, we all messed up. We get done.
But,
Okay.
Bird, Sue,
$153.
I'd be happy can
All
explain
the lights.
exactly, but
What?
somewhere we required to have.
$453 for 1 month.
But we got AC and heater in there. Depending on what
This
season.
summer?
Well, the AC during.
Oh, the air, oh, yeah, the AC, yeah. I heard the heater for it.
Yeah, and
Did we finally get our bill from Shoes? Is that, was that, no, that was last month. We did that last month.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So these guys from last year,
I would assume that that's gonna start to
be a lot lower than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, them,
That was what, $600-700 every month to be.
Yeah,
them LED lights really help.
yeah. Almost cut it in half.
Now, did you, Opie, did you or Ronnie say that we had a couple of lights out down there? Thought one.
Yeah, that was the light out. I tried to break
Now,
that one night.
Is the Bruce the one that we're using to work on them lights? Who installed them?
Bruce, I guess.
Bruce, okay. I know he worked on them one other time. I told him that we had a couple of lights out. I need to go down by there and see.
Go at night.
At night.
And I know we need to fix that one above the rig.
Yeah, I looked at it. I got a report for tonight. Oh, got several things.
I mean, it works. You can turn it on, but it shines that way instead of down. It's kind of dark down in there.
It is.
Did you get my time sheet?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And hush, black. We got them all back.
That's, yeah, everything back.
Yeah.
All right. Just cutting it yet? No? Yeah,
No, those are just the reports
okay,
from September. October.
yeah, I did say that.
I never
There's
did,
too many papers.
I never quite
Might
understand
have.
why we paid, Blackwell to assess our taxes.
They adjust
And then we
taxes for
pay the county too.
for sales. They adjust, our sales and the new owners and take the other ones off and stuff like that, get it current for the year.
Okay. But isn't that what the county assessor does?
They collect it,
They collect.
and that's why we pay them to collect it. The assessor verifies like addresses with them.
Okay. Yet we've had discrepancies, a lot of discrepancies in the
Yes, we
past.
have.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions on any of the?
No.
So, on the cutting edge, I know he sprayed, thought it was a couple of months back. Did he spray all the intakes and all the berms?
I think so.
Okay,
Sprayed the top.
Even the upper riprap and stuff, because you got around the bottom.
yeah. Okay, I know I did talk to him, last time I seen him, I talked to him about doing an alternative spraying with salt brine.
Yeah.
And it'd probably take a couple of times, but it wouldn't, you don't have all the chemical runoff. And I think, I know around my property, my fence rows and stuff, that's what I do. And I don't have to do nearly the maintenance as I did when I was using chemicals. So I don't know whether he's checking into that like I asked him to. And it's certainly a lot cheaper on the spray using a salt block. Because it just kills everything. You get it saturated enough, it kills everything.
I'm gonna try it.
I've been doing it for several
In my
years.
driveway there.
Yeah, I've been
I
doing it
got
for
a
several
lot of
years.
just girls like.
Where do you get the salt?
I used to use regular salt for like,
Rock salt?
rock salt or,
Sometimes-
water softener.
Okay, something's pretty pure that you have a lot of.
Yeah. And then I dilute it in, about a 50/50 solution, basically, a little less than 50/50, quite a bit more water. But I got an area that I saturated in my shop yard. I had nothing there in a year.
Wow.
So for the areas with the riprap, that would be a better
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's gonna be pretty hard on your pumps and stuff, probably. Unless you, I mean, once you rinse it, you rinse it out. If you rinse it out.
Yeah, and since it's saturated into the ground, kills the roots.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm saying you're like the pump that you're running through and you're,
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
yeah. Well, I ain't had to replace mine yet.
well, I mean,
But of course,
if you do maintenance and you clean it out.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't let it sit in there.
Sure. Anyway. You know, pressure pumps.
All right.
I make a motion to pay our bills as presented.
Second.
Well, motion on the floor by, okay, second by Phil. All in favor of, any further discussion on any bills? You got any other questions? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, the superintendent's report.
Well, as you all know, we had flash flooding. My last record was over 8 inches down there around St. Genevieve area here. And it brought a lot of debris in. We already had a bunch of debris from the previous flood while I was in Puerto Rico. And so it created a mess, a huge mess. And so that was on a Monday. I was down there for a couple hours. OP was already down there working. And then Tuesday, OP and I, we worked, I have to look back at my records, most of the day, I guess it was.
Pulling
And,
the brakes and stuff.
cleaned the rakes out. And then Wednesday, we got the man basket that we traded for, then stainless steel pipes. We had that man basket made. And so I put workers down there cleaning the grates out, cleaning the leaves out, because we ain't got nothing to get the leaves out of the rakes.
All right.
The question was brought up, well, was it worth it? When that water came in, it forces all them leaves into them grates. Because it's a mass flow real quick, well, like that flash flood was anyway. It came in real quick and it bound it all in. And we all know how hard it is to get the leaves out of them grates. So the question was whether it was worth it since the river was coming up. And I decided it was, because when the river comes up, it don't have that sudden flow. So it ain't gonna push the leaves back out the opposite direction. If it came up like the flash flood, yeah, there's a 50-50 chance that it would push the leaves back out the opposite direction, but it doesn't work like that. The river, when it comes up, it's slower. I mean, it will rise quite a bit, but it doesn't have that sudden rush going back through the grapes. So I opted to put workers down in the pits there to rake all them leaves out. And we dropped probably another 2 foot right after we raked them out. So we've got a basket down there now. We didn't have a shackle for it big enough hit the snatch block on the auto crane. So I left one of my Crosby, big D-rings there. And so now it's permanently, we've got a fully operational man basket down there. I also left a 1 foot safety strap down there. And so we worked on the intake, trying to get the water down, because we're holding at one point, we were holding 8 some feet back, 8, 9 feet of water back because of all the stuff in the intake. So that should be all neutral now. And then, so at some point, we're going to have to do something, a more permanent solution to getting these grates and stuff cleaned out, keeping the debris out of the intake. We had no equipment to work with, and we couldn't get anybody down there until Wednesday. So that's up to the board, but something's going to have to be looked at for more permanent options. A backhoe, it only reaches down so far. You clean up, you get debris out of the rakes. So I don't know. I'm leaving it up to the board on that, but I know it's really extremely time consuming
And aggravating.
and aggravating when we don't have anything down there to work with. We can't even empty a hopper. But with one piece of equipment, keep things cleaned out and empty the hopper. Because you can just, with one piece of equipment, you can just pull up to it. That hopper, trash hopper, has 4 hoses in the corners. You can just slide it out from the rake, shackle it, chain it up, pick the whole thing up, take it out and dump it. That's the easiest solution.
Well, that loader down there would have done that.
Pardon me?
That loader sitting there would have done that.
Well, I don't have standing permission to use
Well,
that. And
you know
that's
where to
the
get
one-
it.
And that's the one thing,
Town.
that's the one thing I don't have a key for.
That loader.
If it's a cat, no problem. But, that's something that's gonna have to be addressed at some time, because that is extremely aggravating, time consuming.
That
And we've got all these ditches.
takes something pretty
to
big.
maintain.
That box.
We have,
Wet wood is heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
yeah, that's wood is soaked.
Yeah.
It's heavy. That's a couple of tons.
Yeah.
We've already tested the pumps when it's like that, and when you got the pump going and shut it off, it back flushes the leaves out.
Yes, when the pumps are running, but,
Yeah.
and Monday I dealt with all kinds of phone calls from the community. That one that I told you, just give him my number. I think he called me not less than 5 minutes after I talked to you. And then I as polite as I can with these people, they don't understand floods. And they don't understand how the levee operates. And I know we've had meetings down there, community meetings. You and I have been down there where we had meetings, invited the public down to have discussions of how these floods work. And people don't get it, I don't believe. But we can free flow water far quicker than we can pump it. And that's what I was explaining to them. And I even broke it down to how many gallons a minute we're flowing through the tunnels versus what we can pump. And people says, well, I got water in my basement. And then I said, well, where do you live? I mean, we got a flash flood. It doesn't really matter where you live. It's a flash flood, and especially if you have an older home, the chances are it's going to flood, or at least get wet. But they just tell me they live, what is that, Levee. I said, you're in the floodplain. He says, well, when we bought the house, we was told we weren't in the floodplain. I said, you can go to FEMA website, look up their floodplain zones, find out where you're at, and you'll see exactly where the floodplains are. And I said, you're in a floodplain. The city nor the levee is responsible for pumping your basement out. It is your responsibility as a homeowner to put a sump pump in. He says, well, I ain't gonna be able to get that done today. I said, your best bet is to go up to Ace or Tractor Supply, County Joe, any of the local places that sell pumps, and get one of the floor sump pumps that you just sit on the floor and pump it out the window or basement door, whatever. But I'll have to run that all the time. I said, that's how that works. But when we have a flash flood, we cannot control the water. We can only move so many millions of gallons per minute, and free flowing it when the rivers, like it is, flow. We can flow it far faster than we can pump. And they said, well, can't you turn the pumps on too? I said, what? It's still got to go through the exit of the tunnel. You're not going to gain anything except burn up more fuel and power or whatever. You're not going to gain
And
it.
the channels only let so much water down through anyway. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
Well, the channel already down there during even the flat, below the pump station,
Mhm.
the channel was down to about 5 foot above zero.
Mhm.
Whenever,
Yeah.
maybe 10 at the
yeah,
most
yeah,
the next day.
yeah,
But you were already 15 or 20 feet below the low water
sure.
at Third Street, where water runs over Third Street.
But I
So,
spent probably
20 feet below that.
I spent probably an average of 10 minutes per citizen that called, and I had several calls. And the one guy was the only one that called me back twice. Everybody else, they just let it be. I don't know whether they understood what I was saying, but I was giving it in as layman terms as I could. I mean, I calculated the flow volume through the tunnels, and I already know what the pumps do, and I gave them both numbers, and I left it at that. But after Monday, we didn't have any more calls, or I didn't have any more calls. I don't know whether you had any more calls.
And a few, but
Yeah.
not.
But it is all right to give my number out when we have issues. It don't bother me to deal with them. You know,
Well, you're not gonna please everybody and think
No,
you're
you're
doing
not.
well.
you've got certain, and I can name
Eliminate something like
at
this.
least 8 different people that no matter what you do, you're not gonna, unless you're doing it their way, who have no expertise or anything in this type of work. But they have their belief if you don't do it their way, you don't know what you're doing. So, I mean, but that's the.
If we'd have had something that could reach 22 feet
Absolutely.
with a smooth mouth bucket,
Yes,
you know, get down there and keep that thing,
yes.
scratch it up and down and let that water through there, would have brought it down
Oh, quick.
a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
But it was still, it was.
Well,
all the way to the top.
it was still at
We had 382 on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
382.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
once we-
still about 10 feet lower than any street. 8 feet.
Yeah, well,
And then any street level.
Yeah.
it's 382 down here and the streets are up here and it's coming out of from Zell so fast.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
you got.
still way
you got-
higher up there
You
than
got,
it is
you got
down here.
Valley Springs, you got North Gabourey, South Gabourey, everything from the city, road runoffs, everything comes to that levee. And there is only so much that we can do. But keeping them grates cleaned out is absolute paramount.
The biggest problem we have in the spring, in the fall, is when the leaves
The
first
leaves,
fall.
sure,
And
sure.
every year, it coats, they get so thick, they just coat the 3-inch.
No,
Grades.
it was this thing.
I know, but the grates are only 3 inches apart,
Right.
and then leaves coat that. And you just gotta keep raking them. That rake isn't,
That rake only does so much.
it only
Well, when you
does,
can't get it to go down.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
once you got
It
logs
comes so fast,
down,
it pushes
stuff
logs
that's
in there.
washed underneath
Yeah.
on the bottom, you can't get that rake to go all the way down.
Right.
You're done.
Yeah.
And you can't put a guy in a man basket down in there when you got that much water flowing to rake them leaves out.
Yeah.
Right.
So we need something with a smooth bucket. You run teeth, then you're bending the grates if you get into them, and you can't, once you get below the water, you can't tell where you're at until you hear the clank. And then you've already probably bent one of the veins on the grates. But I'm imploring the levee to come up with a permanent solution.
Yeah.
Whether that means leasing equipment, keeping it for 5 years and then sending it back and then getting another one. Whatever the cheapest option is, that's gonna give us the best bang for our buck. I mean, we've got all these ditches to take care of anyway. I mean, would we use it? How much would we use it a month? Couldn't tell you. It varies, depending on what we've got to deal with. But if we owned a piece of equipment, there's nothing that says we can't rent it out.
Well, you're got a liability there, you need
Yeah,
insurance for
that
that.
comes into
Well,
another
Yeah,
ballgame.
then you got a maintenance and everything else on it, so me, I think, your better option would be leasing
Lease.
something
Yeah,
with a maintenance agreement.
Yep.
And, see if you can have a monthly rate on hours. And if you could roll those hours over
Mhm.
on some months that you're not going to use a piece of equipment. I don't know who would be willing to do something like that, but
I know Cat used to do it. I don't know about the other companies.
Yeah.
I know Herb used to. I don't know,
Mhm.
what Greg's doing it anymore.
But we get down there in the middle of the night, we got the box full, we can't get it empty. I mean, there's holidays, there's countless times that we've needed and can't get anybody. So we need to do something.
Well, first of all, we need to identify what piece of equipment would
Yeah.
take care of all the needs that you have. And then decide how much to do.
Yeah. I personally think an excavator would do it, because you can pick that box up with an excavator and empty it. You can keep the grates cleaned out. When the water's down to below our benches, you can go down there and clean it up if you got a thumb.
Yeah.
Then all we'd have to do is hire a driver and a dump truck to haul it out.
Then you've got the question on insurance.
Yeah.
How insurance is gonna cover this.
Yeah.
They're going to probably want a qualified operator in it. I mean, you just can't just jump in, you know. Not that I care, but insurance companies are a little,
Well, how do they define qualified? I mean, I've been a general contractor for 24 years. I've ran just about every piece of equipment there is.
oh, I'm not saying,
I'm not union, so I ain't got no card saying I'm qualified on that piece of equipment, but I can do anything anybody else can do.
well, just with me and equipment, I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, I
most
understand.
of my life, and it's like, I know how, if somebody gets hurt, there's an accident, something like that. Not that there's gonna be, but there's always that percentage of possibility, and, it can be, more like with a crane. I mean, you can go to prison for that stuff now. So, it's just like a guy up at the refinery. He's in court right now. The operator of the crane that stared at up there. And he's looking at prison time. The estimator got killed over there when that crane, one of their pivot lines broke and it collapsed. And So it bankrupts there. They, 6 months down on a unit and $1 million a day. You don't stay in business very long.
Not
like
very
that.
long.
Started still doing work out of Kentucky, but up here, they're pretty limited. So,
So I guess, based on what I'm hearing, we need to identify, okay, what's our insurance requirements? And identifying a piece of equipment that's going to work, and then find out how much that's going to cost. With maintenance included and the other things you pointed out with time rollover and what have you. And who's qualified? What criteria qualifies the person? But Opie's not always available.
I know.
Yeah, we need, just like
Is it
running them pumps, we need more than
Yeah.
just me and Norm, we need
Exactly.
more help.
So I mean,
it's like with me, I mean, pretty much all cranes I'm still qualified on.
see, we don't
On
have.
excavator, I wouldn't have that qualification
Yeah.
because I wasn't into the dirt equipment. So,
I know my insurance that I have to carry covers operating equipment and everything else that I do. So from my part,
Well, once we get to that point, with whatever insurance carrier we would be working with, we'll get the specifics.
I just bring it up because I know.
well,
And
yeah, it's a valid point. I
it
mean,
can really be a damaging blow.
That's something,
or something.
we need to, let's get together, decide what would work and get a committee and we'll go, Ronnie and I can go look and talk to Bebick or John Deere.
Yeah.
Just see what it's gonna cost. It might be astronomical and we can't afford it.
Well, it's gonna be one of
At
the
least
things
we'll have
you
some
gotta
answers.
work some type of deal because
Yeah.
this
Maybe
thing's
we
not
could
gonna be
rent one
used.
from
They make
Bernie.
it-
They said they got that 300, they run up,
We got some smooth buckets but
that they don't
You
wanna,
gotta
they
get
wanna
it
get rid of, they want
You
to.
know, when do you move them?
Well,
After the rain gets there?
yeah, we had
Before the rain?
talked to them about your 300. They talked about getting rid of it, trading it in. And maybe that would be suitable enough that would reach what we need.
It'll reach 43 feet, one direction.
it's more than enough.
With
You
the,
can sit on either
and the
side of the
bucket is
channel.
big enough, maybe too big for the stop logs
Yeah,
that are in there, because the bucket is about 9 feet from the hinge to the teeth.
yeah.
And that thing could tear out the grids. It would have, if the operator wasn't
Yeah.
feathering, that would tear out the grids.
Yeah,
It'd be a bad shape if you got them grids.
That was almost too big.
It's too big.
If you ask
It's
me.
That
too
three,
big.
that 315 worked excellent.
Yeah.
If they would come up with a
Oh,
design
we
that
did
had
a
a
smooth bucket for it.
smooth bucket and if it had an extend a hole on that, and they do make them.
Yeah.
And as far as when you
You can
bring it
get
in.
a little extend a hole on it, something at 315 or 314, about that size.
It's at both sides and everything's gonna find its way back to the side. So once you start pulling out, it's going to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you could get that with a smaller bucket with a thumb. You could get the logs out of there.
Yeah,
Give you a problem.
It worked excellent when Nick
Yeah.
actually ran the 315 for us the
Yeah.
second day.
Yeah,
And he just set that thing on there and just ride down that thing. Nick, the mechanic,
you're right.
he
Well,
did
he
a perfect job.
Yeah, they moved the load and get this.
I had to pick on
out
him
of
a
the shop and
little. You know, I
everything.
had to pick on him a little.
You can do about anything.
Yeah. I said, your dad teach you that? He just grinned.
Vern, that might be something for you, I mean, take an excavator down there as needed and use an operator on it. I mean, it's not
Well,
gonna be
that's
used that
kind of
much.
what we normally do, but sometimes we can't
I
get
was
it.
out of town.
No, I know that.
I'm usually around when it rains.
Again, the question comes up, like in the evening or off hours or something, getting somebody there. If we're gonna get something like, if we can rent something from Vern, if it's not gonna sit there, then it should probably be brought in right before we know we're gonna get a bunch of rain.
Yeah.
That way it's there.
It's pretty hard. I mean, nobody knew
Yeah.
we were gonna get that kind of rain too.
Yeah.
On that last Monday. I mean,
Yeah.
it just started and it didn't quit.
And the biggest, and the rest of the year, after the leaves are settled in, we won't have a big leaf problem. Now, I'm thinking that if we had the right tool that would lift down there and come in, that, well, it still almost has to be hydraulic,
Mhm.
so you can buck the current.
Mhm.
That's what, didn't you ask the Corps engineer people that?
Everybody, all the other
What
labels
do
are going to
they, you know,
excavators.
they laughed about the rate. They said, yeah, that thing's kind
Yeah.
of obsolete. And he asked, what do you do? What's everybody else do?
Everybody's going to
Everybody's
excavators.
going to a small excavator with a smooth bucket where they can reach in and grab it. I mean, we could keep it busy for a good while, just the rest of Valley Spring Branch needs
Yeah.
cleaning out. Maybe we could finish that up. You talked about that grant, maybe just get some money and we could do it ourselves, you know?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I'm just, like
Yeah.
I said, I'm just presenting to the board, we've got to do something,
Right
guys.
now, we got a
It
disaster.
just gets to where you pull your hair out. Just want to walk away from everything. You know, it just gets that aggravating sometimes.
well, we're a lot closer than we were
We
several
were,
years ago.
yes.
We never had a road down to it.
Yes.
We didn't have a road alongside
In
it,
the last
both sides.
In the last 6 years that I've been here, we've made a lot of improvements.
Yeah.
That makes things run a lot better, but that we still come back to that intake there
Yeah.
that we don't have a solution for.
And you're right, you can't even, without my little tractor,
Yeah, we
if
can't,
I didn't have it here, so.
in the middle of
We
the
didn't
night,
have it.
in the middle of the night, when I'm raking, and I can rake while the pumps are running or the water's flowing through the
Till it gets full.
tunnels. Once the hopper's done, you're done.
Yeah.
If you can't empty it, you're done.
Yeah.
And it don't take long to fill that up.
No, it don't.
Right now, I don't know how many hoppers you would have to fill up to
Oh.
clear that thing.
Just-
It would take a
unbelievable.
That's all
minute.
you got, that one, you know, we can fill it in
Yeah.
a couple hours.
Yeah,
If it breaks right,
I filled it up in 40 minutes.
well,
before.
if you can get it out of there.
Yeah, if I can get it out, I can fill it up real quick. To almost to the point where you can't even get the hopper to come back out
Right.
when you release it. You know, it's just, we gotta have a plan.
I do want to say that the city did help us out.
Yes.
I called Dennis and, they come down with their backhoe and he just said, here, do what you want. You can run it. You did it your whole life, so. And we did scratch all of them up and we got the water to really flowing through there good. But it only reaches so far.
Yeah.
So I want to thank Dennis for that. And the city took care of us there.
They got
What little
on,
they
they
could
all,
do.
they ran, it's like, we knew.
And there again, if we got into renting a machine or the levy had it and the city needed it, you know, something a little bigger than their mini, well then,
It's a mutual
Vice
agreement.
versa, maybe
It's
it's
a
the-
mutual agreement. One agency's helping the other,
yeah.
you know? I mean, we're all in this game together.
You looking at a mini excavator or you looking at a full size?
Well, it'd have to be bigger than your little mini you guys got.
Right.
That, the backhoe reaches as far as that. And what we had down there, Bowman's got that at 315, that was, I know they make one with an extender hole which you could have went another 6-8 feet.
Yeah.
Probably eight on them.
Probably 8-foot extender hole on that.
And that would be
And
ideal.
a smooth bucket, we need 2 buckets, because sooner or later you're gonna have to clear,
Yeah.
and you need a tooth bucket for that.
Yeah.
And a
And if
thumb,
we're gonna do that,
and a thumb hydraulic.
oh yeah, I'd have to have
You
it.
have to have fun, yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to, Ronnie'd help me.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
I mean,
retired, we got time, we go shopping someday.
gonna see you go.
The only other option we have is going back to my previous idea of putting an auto crane out there.
Yeah, but that's not, still gonna clean that grate out.
You can put a little grappling bucket on it to reach down and pull the logs out. I don't know. I mean,
Let's keep going on this. I mean,
Yeah, I think a piece of equipment probably, the auto
cars
planes,
have multiple uses for that.
it's a good idea and everything. I just don't know how feasible that's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good, but
A clam, sometimes a clam can be ornery, you can't get,
it just,
catch on anything, and I'd rather have a drag bucket, let's get a drag line.
I presented that idea here a year ago, 2 years ago. I mean, that there's multiple things that we could do, but we got to decide on something and do it.
I agree with you.
Well, let's
Because we
start getting
can't-
some information together on
Yeah.
cost and insurance and see, you know,
What do you,
all of a sudden the
anybody-
picture's gonna become a little more clear.
Any objection if Ronnie and I take a road trip and go up and maybe look at FedEx and, John Deere?
yeah.
Yeah, why don't you guys do that?
It'd be fine.
Kind of start getting some pricing together on
Start somewhere and,
different size
maybe they got
machines.
a good used machine or something, or?
Get some pricing together on some different options and we can get back together on it.
Okay, sounds good.
That's,
And then,
20-some feet, 22 feet deep.
It's something,
12-foot grid, isn't it? 24?
I think it's between 22 and 24.
Yeah.
I don't remember my last.
it almost would need to hit, be perfect if you could hit the bottom.
Yeah.
You want
Well, once it drops out, I can remeasure what that is, but I think it's between 22 and 24.
There were 12-foot grids.
Yeah.
Well, aren't them, crates 14 foot each?
12.
Now,
They're 12 foot.
they're 13, right, 13.2,
Are they both the same length?
they're all
All the same?
Yeah,
So it's like 26
Yeah.
feet.
yeah, I think it's,
Well,
yeah,
to get the water through during, and all you're doing is getting it out of the field as far as that goes.
Yeah,
You don't have to be the last few feet, but
yeah.
like I said,
well,
it'd be
once it's
better.
down, then
Well,
you
you got down,
clean it out.
Then you clean it
Then you
thoroughly.
clean it out thoroughly.
Say
The rest will go.
if it's 26 and you got something that reaches 24, you're grabbing that log anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need to go all the way to the bottom.
Anything would help.
The bottom, the grate, when the rake closes, it swirls like this, and that bottom 2 feet
It
both
doesn't,
ways.
you don't get it
You
anyway.
can never get it out.
Yeah.
The rake can't get it out. Even if the logs aren't in there, the rake cannot get that bottom out.
You know, it may, be good if you could keep that thing clear out in the front, sort of clear that out. It may stop the accumulation of leaves to where, because you've got packs of leaves that go in there.
Well, I brought up a year or two
We
ago
know
about
that.
putting a buoy or
Yeah, it's
something
almost
out in the
impossible.
middle.
Cleaned out when you don't have anything.
Exactly, but that's what I mean, if you can keep that clean out in front, it may eliminate the leaf problem.
I brought that up about a year or two ago about putting a post or something out there in the middle of the channel with cables coming back with, just
Chain link
2 foot chain link fence or something that floats out across through there to keep all that top debris pushed out to the sides. You know, that would stop the leaves. The bigger stuff would flow under, of course. But it's the leaves that create the greatest of challenges.
Yeah.
As far as water flow. The logs are still always an issue, because if it gets through, the float, log out there and gets into the grate, you still gotta get it out, if you can get it out, because sometimes some long logs come in long ways. And so there's, even if you can snag the end, they're still out in the channel.
Yeah, there's some of them pretty good size down there right now, there's that one root ball that's,
Yeah. But even the, floating-
All right, we'll put this, take a look at it and come up with some ideas.
Let's get some
We'll go
ideas
further
and
on
some
this.
prices.
Yeah. Get some
Very good.
ideas and some options, whatever might.
Sounds good.
Some netting of some kind up there might slow that leaves down too, or the brush, logs from getting in there. Okay. Anything else you got?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay. Anything we got on our old business? Well, briefly, I was out there, talked to Bill today, and the pump is all together, the seals are intact and in place, and it's tight this time. He had to send it back twice, I think he said. Anyway, it's ready, probably Friday, they're gonna paint it, and they're putting all they have to do is put on the cables, electric cables. So that thing will be ready probably next week sometime. So that needs to go back in and get it tested out sometime. Good.
Deer season now.
Yeah, I don't have
Getting it after next week.
No, that's all right. We don't have.
I'm on vacation.
I think I'm on vacation too.
All right. Anything under new business? We have election of a supervisor. And I guess this year it's Sue's term is up. And we sure appreciate everything you've done and we hope you stay with us. There's an opening.
Maybe two, huh, Vern? Maybe two.
Yeah. But,
I'd sure like Sue to stay on. She does an excellent job for us. And saw her paperwork in order and.
Yeah.
If you would, you got my vote.
I just need a
How do we
motion.
go about that?
You just need a motion.
need a motion.
I make a motion, we keep Sue on the payroll.
Absolutely.
Okay, a motion on the floor in a second. Phil?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.
abstain. I abstain.
Yeah, but do you accept or not?
I do accept. I just can't vote myself.
Hear that train coming.
Yeah, if I got trained a new person, I'm done.
Yeah.
Especially with FEMA.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sue.
Okay, we got something about this mitigation paper I have to sign, is it?
Yes.
That's there?
It's to approve a 5-year hazardous mitigation plan. We do this every 5 years so that we can keep
So,
up with
we
FEMA.
need a motion to that
I have an original. Yes, we do.
We need a motion to that effect, that we approve this.
Right.
And Sue and I talked, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Because it was due, what, November 1st or 7th? Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. It was before our meeting tonight. And she and I talked and got the proper paperwork submitted. She got the proper paperwork submitted. So we should be good on,
Yep.
as far as mitigation plan.
It's the same as it's always been. So,
Well,
The plan is the same. What we just submitted, one of them was the same, just the normal maintenance and,
and
It
then
was
we
maintenance
added
and
like
something else.
300,000 in there to get some type of equipment.
right, and
Something
then,
to show that we're trying to mitigate our problems.
okay.
and then the only new one that we submitted, and I think Levee District 2 did as well, was the tie-in levy between the two of us.
Okay.
I talked to Tom.
Yeah.
Is it Tom? With the Levee District?
Chris.
Chris, and
Tom.
then,
Chris Kurtz and Tom.
Tom Roach.
Tom Rowe.
Yes, I talked to both of them and they were filling out the same thing. They were gonna fill it out the same way we did so that hopefully if we come to that point.
Yeah, and we up the dollars on the project.
On the tie.
Tie-in
Well,
project.
Yes.
You know that.
Yeah, and so,
You know, if, we talked to the Corps of Engineers about what's going on down there right now, it may give some type of suggestion and sort of help create some funding for whatever.
Funding from Corps of Engineers.
Well, what I'm saying, they can
Yeah.
sort of give you an idea of what you need. And then we would have to go through the proper channels to,
I've talked, well, what aspect are you talking about on the levee as far as ideals?
clearing the,
The debris out there? I have talked to John Blue in the face and I've tossed, I don't know how many ideals out there. And it always comes down to this one thing, no matter who I talk to, you can present the best laid out plan you can come up with. And there's always going to be, well, this could happen, or there's always going to be some reason not to do it.
Well, I mean, I do believe they have people there that can help with these suggestions. So
Yeah.
they don't have to take your,
Sure.
input.
But they ain't offering none, because I've talked to them till I'm blue in the face
Right.
of what I can do to keep them intakes cleaned out, and they just tell me all the other levees are going to an excavator.
Well, DNRs should, they should have some, say in this too. I mean, I don't know. I think there's resources out there to help with this, so.
I'm coming up empty, as far as funding. And like I said, I've thrown out drag lines, I've thrown out screens out there to divert everything, and there's always somebody that comes up, well, we can't do it because this might happen, or this could happen, this and that. There's always a reason not to do something. Even on the best laid plans. I mean, there's nothing ever 100% guaranteed.
No, there's nothing guaranteed, but I mean, you can't do nothing either,
Exactly. That's what I keep coming back to. You can't just do nothing. It's always going to be there,
Right.
but you can't just leave it laying there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only thing that, as far as intake there, the only thing I'm getting back from the Corps is they won't give you any money. They can only approve or disapprove whatever you're going to do as far as changing the structure of the levee. As far as daily maintenance, that's on us. And, they come in for their inspections of what needs to be fixed and this and that.
Right.
And it's still on us, but they ain't gonna give no funding for it. And as far as the intake, the only thing they ever do is tell me all the other levees are going to excavators to keep it cleaned out. That's the only thing I get from Corps of Engineers.
Very few of the levee districts have the
The fund.
freshwater streams coming in
Yeah.
to capacity we have.
Yeah.
Like the big field,
Yeah.
that's all crop ground coming
Sure.
out. They don't have logs and stuff
Yeah.
getting in their
Yeah.
intakes and stuff, nor do the Illinois levees and
Sure.
all that, the federal levees in
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
And even the bottom doesn't have very little debris,
Mhm.
very little bottoms. Back on this resolution here, we got to approve it,
Yes.
make a motion to approve this
Make a
resolution
motion to approve.
for hazard, jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, 5-year plan update. Okay, that's what we got. Have a motion on, for us to sign it, or me to sign it, and get it signed, right?
I'll second,
You'll make a motion, you said?
Bill made a motion.
and I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion on the floor in a second. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Good. So just put the
The 12,
date,
yeah, that's fine.
12. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else to go? Public participation, are we done with the new business? Okay, any public participation?
Nothing to report on the levee with the Fish and Wildlife Service. They're still working their magic. Slow magic, but magic.
Yeah, okay. I'll entertain a motion. Adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion on the floor in a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.